Alrighty, folks, we are going to do my favorite series of the week. This is where Mark, the financial firefighter, goes through and gets your comments. And I have a wild guess that one of our videos is going to be a hot topic, the one where we talk about a 50% housing crash and why that is complete nonsense. But maybe I'm wrong. Let's see what you got, Mark. What's going on?
Not much, but I'm glad when you do these type of interviews or topics because it gives me a lot of
A lot
comments
of
to go
choices.
through. Yes, exactly. So we are definitely going to start with your daily financial news, talking about Melody Wright's call.
Mhm.
So one person though, the Timberland investor is calling you a liar. It says still lying. You know you are lying. Melody Wright never said in 2026. You have been told this numerous times. At this point, this is malicious and you should be ashamed.
I do not know what he's referring to. I will once again read you the headline from Newsweek. This is Newsweek, right on Newsweek. I captured it so we have video evidence. Melody Wright expects home prices to fall by as much as 50% next year in a way that could worse than 2008. In that same article, it goes on to say, I think we're going to correct all the way to a point where household median income matches home price. Median income matching home price. This is what she said, according to Newsweek. And so this is going to be worse than 08. This could devolve a lot faster than the last time, Wright said in an interview with Adam Taggart, host of Thoughtful Money. And just one more. The U.S. housing market is going to face price correction worse than 2008, according to housing analyst Melody Wright, who expects home prices to drop in half as soon as next year. That's what I read. That's what I reported. Now, maybe Newsweek lied, and I'm perpetuating that lie. I doubt it. I don't watch Adam Taggart, but after this video, I did watch his opening hook or 1 minute. It also said 50% crash. So, no, I did not lie. I don't watch these videos, guys. This is all doom porn. This is all just brokies getting rich on clicks. So, again, I did not lie. The facts in hand, the Newsweek article, Adam Taggart's opening hook, 50% crash in 2026. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it's why you mentioned Adam Taggart also. Like they had the YouTube video, and within so many hours, there was like 150,000 views or
Yeah.
something on that video.
And
It's
more
crazy.
importantly, this is Adam Taggart on X. Oh boy, over 100K YouTube views in less than 24 hours. Folks, if this is not video evidence that there are creators who don't care about being right, who don't care about anything except money, here you go. Here's the evidence. They want to crush hope. They want to be the freaking Jerry Springer of YouTube. Jerry Springer is now your news source. Folks, you're a moron if you watch Jerry Springer for your news source. Moron, idiot, brokey. That's on you. If you're watching Jerry Springer to get rich, you're a fucking idiot. I don't know what to tell you.
All right, so like I said, the Melody Wright Daily Financial News brought out a lot of great comments. So this one now says they're laughing at you. They said, Mike, go ahead and buy up all the real estate. Please be my guest. I'll buy it later for pennies on the dollar. You believe what you like. I believe in what I see, not what I'm told.
Well, I believe it when I see and I do the work and I write disrespectful offers and I get great deals that cash flow day one. I don't bet on appreciation. Everything cash flows day one. I'm willing to trade up equity. I've been doing this for 25 years, son, and I'm worth well over 8 figures and you're broke. So I feel pretty good about my chances.
All right, and like I said, there's good and bad from the Melody Wright Daily Financial News. Now this one says from Jeff M says, "Thank you so much for not selling out to clicks. You are the only one I still follow. You are great, Mike. You are an unbelievable economist. The receipts are all posted here. You will have a legacy of correct predictions, and the next couple of decades will show that."
Yeah, Jeff M is a very important commenter because I don't know if you guys know this, but Jeff M was a real estate mindset fan. And actually, Real Estate Mindset, as I recall, did a video or did lots of questions from Jeff M. And Jeff M has gone on to distance himself from real estate mindset. Jeff M has gone on to buy a rental or buy a home. So congratulations, Jeff. I don't know if I sent him a golden ticket or not. I hope I did. Jeff, if you watch this and I didn't send you a golden ticket, we need to fix that. But Jeff M's an important deal. Jeff M is one of those people that we saved, right? He was watching Jerry Springer, Real Estate Mindset, Melody Wright, Adam Taggart, Nick Gurley are all Jerry freaking Springer. If you guys are watching Jerry Springer to get rich, you're an idiot. You're just an idiot. It's whatever.
So also, some people are asking, it would be great for you to have Melody Wright on with the three amigos, but someone did ask you. Ian Hall says, do you regret interviewing Melody in the past?
So those are two different comments, as I recall. Let's talk about the regret first. Absolutely not. When I interviewed Melody Wright for the first time, which I think was 3 years ago, I believe she was still trying to find her voice. She obviously was negative on housing. She called for a negative 5% crash in 2024, which did not happen. She was wrong. She did go on to call for a 9% crash in 2025. Strike two. She's wrong again. But I believe that Melody Wright, and I've said this many times, at least in the beginning, I don't think she was a crash bro. I think she's the queen now. I actually think Melody Wright is worse than Nick Gurley. If you look at what Nick's been doing lately, he talked about housing being flat or maybe negative 1%. I don't think Nick is the worst anymore. I think it's Melody Wright. She's talking about a 50% crash in 2026. Crazy. And she'll be wrong again. Maybe after 3 strikes, she's out and she'll be irrelevant. Who knows? So no, I don't regret it. I think as she found her voice, she also found Travis at Real Estate Mindset. They do a lot of stuff together. And she's an earner. I mean, I showed the stats on my channel. I've only ever done 2 videos with Melody Wright. I only have 2 videos ever that produced $1,000, both with Melody Wright. In fact, I only have 2 videos that ever produced over $500, both with Melody Wright, both over $1,100 now. So Melody Wright is a great get for any YouTube host. Melody Wright brings Jerry Springer. And if you're comfortable watching Jerry Springer, go not clearly a lot of people love Jerry Springer. But if you're trying to get wealthy watching Jerry Springer, I got news for you. You're going to be broke. So no, I don't regret it. But once she got around Travis from Real Estate Mindset, I think she pivoted into the queen of, housing crash, and she's gone all in. And, she is where she is. She's chosen to lay with dogs, and now she has fleas. I will not, back to the first part of that question, I will never interview her again. Travis, as you know, has said some nasty things, and she supports him. And then we were communicating via X, and she was very rude. So I blocked her. I block Adam. I block these people. I don't need poison, right? The earlier question about me lying, I don't know what you're talking about. I read a Newsweek article. I quoted the Newsweek article. So, whatever. But yeah, it's, I'm now calling these people Jerry Springer, and it's really comical that, it just goes to show that Jerry Springer was always very popular, right? Who's Your Daddy or whatever those episodes were, fights in the audience. I just think it's sad that if you're trying to get wealthy, that you've chosen Jerry Springer as your financial analyst. But hey, this is America. You can choose to do stupid things and, go for it.
All right, so we'll finish this one off with a positive note from, like you're saying, stop watching doom and you get rich. So Jeremy Ludwig says, when I first started investing, I was very emotional. When I got over my feelings and started thinking more logical, I did so much better. I appreciate you helping me stay grounded over the years. I wish I would have found you before I found Adam Taggart and Reventure. They both cost me a lot of money due to fear. When I switched to listening to you and Jason Hartman, I made a lot of money, and my unrealistic, opportunity-destroying fears went away. Thank you, Michael.
It just came to me this morning. These crash bros, crash sisters, queens, kings, they're Jerry Springer. It's just that I can't think of a better image. Jerry Springer is your financial analyst if you're watching them. Now, again, they're very entertaining. They are telling you some great stuff. They've got great stories. They pull on your heartstrings with complete nonsense and feelings. But again, are you really going to go to Jerry Springer for your financial analyst? I don't think so. Right? But hey, to each his own. And if you want to watch Jerry Springer and get rich, I wish you nothing but the best of luck.
All right, and this one was from your daily financial news, ADP with some scary job numbers. So this one is you're talking about, doomers, maybe who to listen, Jerry Springer, who to follow. But Zach Comedy 5532 says, just found you, Michael. Iced coffee pod. I love your story, style, and sharing wisdom. Watching from the Buckeye State, about to enter real estate investing as an inheritance allows us to finally get in. I love to order your book and continue learning. Book suggestions other than Rich Dad, Poor Dad.
Yeah, I think there's a couple of books. Obviously, I think I responded to that one, 15 Conversations with the Real Estate Millionaires. It's my second and I think more important book. It doesn't get talked about enough. But there's a book by Gary Keller. I don't know if I have it on my shelf. I think it's in Vegas. Gary Keller, it's blue and white. I think it's called The Real Estate Millionaire. I also like David Goggins' Can't Hurt Me and Extreme Ownership, because I think life, you have to understand this business is hard. 5 years suck. All the things we talk about here, but you got to have extreme ownership, and you got to understand that the way to get better is to do hard things. And I think those are all my book suggestions.
I'll just, throw out, maybe Dion's book,
Oh yes,
Financial Freedom for the Lazy Person.
I'm
and,
sorry. Yes, I have that
and,
one.
and,
Yes,
and,
yes,
and
yes.
Coach Carson's The Small and Mighty Real Estate
You're
Investor.
you're a good person. Yes.
Oh, well, I love
they're all
those.
family. Yeah,
Yes,
they are.
exactly.
They're all family. Yes, yes, yes.
But let's see, where was the next one? Now I lost my train of thought.
I'm
But
sorry.
talking about no, but being on the iced coffee hour, Hyder, and I heard you mention a few things from some takeaways, I think. So All Nighter Hyder does comment, a lot of YouTube participation is by guest accounts or people that have not signed in. Without signing in under an account, subscriptions cannot be confirmed or comments left or like buttons bruised. Only viewership. This is why I advocate that everyone create an account for participation in the community.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I don't even know what half of that meant, but if All Nighter Hider said it, I believe him. So I think creating an account allows you to participate more and maybe helps with the algorithm. Because again, a lot of what I'm learning from Graham is the participation, right? Again, I'm terrible at it. It's a game that Graham loves to win. And I did an interview with him. It's being chopped up right now, and hopefully out in the next week or so. But he actually had me do one of his sticks, like ask for subscriptions. Hey, folks, it's 9:00 at night. Graham and I are here. We just did a 90-minute podcast. Do me a favor. If you like this content, hit the like button, hit subscribe. It really means a lot. Here's a picture of a baby seal or whatever he does. And it's just not natural to me. So I just choose to show up every day and do 3 videos, and maybe good things will happen eventually. So I am certainly more comfortable doing the work than becoming the best at it. But it's fun to talk to people like Graham when we can hook up. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I do notice you mentioning it more though in your daily financial news now. So
Yeah,
it's
a little bit. I'm trying. It feels unnatural still.
And you talked about you're mentioning some of the books you recommend and having accountability and whatnot. But this one was from your "What's Happening to Young Men" interview with Adrian, and this individual, Mike Olison 4930 says, "Trying to hide failure." I love that phrase. You hit the nail on the head.
Yeah, I mean, that one really hit me. I think his name's Scott Holloway or Holiday or something. I've been watching some of his stuff, and it really does sound like young men are particularly struggling. And there are people in my direct universe that are young men that are struggling. And it's eye-opening to see kind of the causes and how helpless they feel when, being a man, at least as Gen X, was kind of black and white, right? You kind of, I still can't believe this. It's actually funny. This is a question I asked Graham in the interview. I don't know if you guys remember the conversation on the iced coffee hour with Charlie Kirk, and Graham and whatnot. But one of our school members asked me to ask Graham, and I did.
That was
Do
me.
you? Yeah, you. He said, or you said, ask Graham if he changed his opinion about going Dutch on a date with a woman, and he hasn't. And I got it. I mean, we poked at it, and hopefully it makes the final edits. And I got to tell you, if I ever asked a girl out, I'm paying. I don't care. Now, Graham and whatnot goes on to talk about how girls are using that, this, that, the other, which I'm going to guess they did back in my day as well. And I just didn't pick up on it. But yeah, we've lost something. I don't know what it is. I raised a daughter. I didn't have a boy. So maybe I'm just oblivious. Because I tried to raise a tough and secure daughter who would be comfortable paying for herself if that's what happened. Because I wanted her to stand on her 2 feet. I didn't want her to be dependent on a man. But I don't know, dude. It feels like we lost something. And I don't have the answer. I'm not sitting here pretending like I have the answer. But sometimes if you just step back and point at it and you talk about what you're seeing, others can come in and help. And that's what I tried to do in that video with Adrian. I appreciate Adrian, helping us. Because again, folks, I come into a conversation, we talk for 30 seconds and we hit record. None of this is scripted. This is all just real-time reactions. And I appreciate Adrian going out on a limb and talking about something that we've never talked about before.
Is it Scott Galloway that you're talking
That's the
about?
one, Scott Galloway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So did you see his clip about him saying he thinks a big problem is the work from home happen, and now
Yes.
men don't. Yeah. Do you have any thoughts off your top of your head on that? As
I think so. I mean, if you think about, when I think about all of my relationships, my serious relationships, I met one at a softball game, which was just a happenstance. A buddy asked me to fill in. I met the other two I met at work. 2 out of 3. I've only had 3 real long-term relationships, and 2 were at work, and one was a fluke accident in a softball game. Dude, you got to get out of the house. You got to go outside. That's where the people are. Go outside.
all right. So your other video that got a lot of traction was your daily financial news average net worth.
Yes, it did.
So
Yeah.
Punakar, like I said, I love Punakar, has great
Dude, he's
comments and
amazing.
questions.
He's
Yes.
he's he's amazing. He's so smart. Just
So he
I love
says,
love to call him a friend.
yeah, which one do I go at first then?
He's got
Let's
so
go at this one from Punakar first then. So he says, Mike, when you look at the year-over-year median net worth of the top 1%, there is a strong correlation with equities and a weak one with the and a weak one with the real estate market. In the last 3 years, since the stock market was so strong and real estate wasn't, does it bother you when the gap narrows? It slightly bothers me with a smiley face.
Yeah, so I'm just going to guess. I don't know any of this for sure. And if I did know for sure, I wouldn't put his business out there. But I'm going to guess Punakar's net worth is probably 60, or maybe say 65-35, meaning equities and real estate. Mine is, I don't know, 95, and then a bunch of other stuff, or maybe 92 and a bunch of other stuff. And I think I replied to that. And basically what Punakar is pointing out is the last 3 years, the stock market's been up over, I don't know, 20% every year and all of that. And really has narrowed the gap with real estate. And he's saying, hey, does that bother you? Right? Your real estate's flat to down. Does it bug you? And, frankly, where I'm at in life, it doesn't bother me at all. My life doesn't change at all. The fluctuations up or down, it's all cash flow and life choices at this point. So no, it doesn't bother me. But I think I also said in that response, a decade ago, it would have really pissed me off. I would have felt like I was failing. If this 3-year run would have happened like in 2012 to 15, I would have been really questioning myself. Now, again, if you know real estate, 2012 to 15, it was an amazing year. So, thankfully when I was building, I was in the right asset. But yeah, Punakar's right. I've been in the wrong asset for 3 years. But does it bother me? Not one single iota. In fact, I never even thought about it until he brought it up in that comment.
All right. So before we get to his next comment, this one was also on your daily financial news average net worth. But Veli Smith comments, talking about net worth, but aren't you asking the wrong question? How about does your passive income exceed your expenses? In that case, my answer would be no, but I'm working on it.
I love my audience. My audience is so smart. He's absolutely right that that's the real question, but that wasn't the survey I read. Right, on the daily financial news, I share about 90 minutes of reading, and the article I read was about net worth. I've never found an article actually that talked about cash flow, passive or semi-passive. If there is one, folks, send me a link. I'd love to read it. I'd love to share the stats. But yes, that is the real question. Frankly, that's the only question that matters. Again, you could be someone that makes 50 grand a year and be financially free if you can live on $4,000 a month. I mean, it's that simple, and lots of people do it. No, that's the real question, but that just wasn't the article that I read.
So I guess here's Punakar's one again on the daily financial news average net worth. And like I said, you're a machine, putting out content, your daily financial news, like how you get all this information you want to put out there. But so he says, Mike, you say we are a community of wealth builders, but do you know what the distribution within the community looks like? If not, you should do a poll of which net worth bracket your audience is. I imagine it would be hard to target content without that insight.
Yeah, again, Punakar's absolutely right. He's actually brought up a couple of great surveys I should do. I think you could do those in the community tab. I've never done one. Again, I probably should learn how to do that. But I will tell you what is interesting is if you go back to that video and you scroll through the comments, I never counted them up, but I want to tell you 90% of my followers are above average and probably 90% are above median and 80% are above average. Think about that, right? That is something to be proud of. Now, again, some viewers are 30, some are 60. So again, the numbers will skew, but to think that 80% of my audience is above the average and 90% above the median, I think tells you all you need to know.
So I think we'll wrap this one up. Like I said, the daily financial news, Melody Wright brought out both sides of the coin, right? But Robbie Yeats 328 says, I'm so thankful for you. You have been a voice of reason in an unreasonable world. You make the world a better place because of ORAP. The destiny of my personal story is dramatically altered. Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Wow. I don't remember that one. That's awesome. Thank you very much for that greatly. I love how you wrap this up with a very positive one. And again, it's starting to make more sense to me why the Crash Bros Crash Queen is so popular. It's Jerry Springer. And if you guys don't know who Jerry Springer is, do a Google search, ChatGPT. You'll see that I'm right. Watch some of Jerry Springer's clips. Those are the Crash Bros. Those are your wealth advisors. Jerry Springer is your wealth advisor. And again, let's be clear. I want to be painfully clear. After Graham Stephan and I talked about 5 or 6 months ago, I tried to be Jerry Springer for 6 months, and it worked. For 6 weeks, I got 120 or 110,000 more views. But I attracted an audience that liked Jerry Springer. That's not who I am. So I've given it up, gone back to black and white. Here's the facts. Here's the reports. Do the work, all of that stuff. But Jerry Springer is a monster. And YouTube rewards Jerry Springer content. Look at Adam Taggart celebrating 100,000 views on a video in 24 hours because he got someone to say housing will crash 50% in a year. Folks, that is all you have to know. He is not interested in being right. He is not interested in helping you. He is interested in getting paid. That's all you need to know.
Well, just being a little selfish, I would say, how about one video a week so it makes me find a lot more comments a lot easier. That 6-week period was like, oh, well, here's one. This is easy.
Yeah, it's easy to get hate. Again, there's a lot of Jerry Springer fans in the parking lot. I don't care about them at all. If you want to be a drunk idiot listening to Brokies, be nuts. If you want to get wealthy, let's get in the stadium, let's buy a ticket, and let's see if we can help you. So yeah, Mark, happy Thanksgiving, man. We're doing this Thanksgiving morning. It's really early in Hawaii. I appreciate you. Where can they find you?
Financial Firefighter, YouTube, Instagram, X, all over the place.
Thanks, family.